Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The message that I have for you reads like this. Hello, my brother, how are you? I am a young lady who is aged 28 years old. I come from a certain African country and I do not want you to mention the name of that country that I come from. So when I was still in university, it then happened that there were a lot of people that used to come to our varsity. These people, usually they would be coming from France, since in our country, French is the dominant language. So a lot of these people that would come to our campus, they were like your people that were looking to sponsor other poor African students. It then happened that there was this other man who once came and he was running this program whereby he wanted to sponsor some African talent, those that were talented in music, especially those ones that could participate in orchestra music, the type of music that mostly white people love. So I used to attend those classes, but I was not that much into it. That is when I met that man. I don't know how exactly me and this guy ended up dating. I dated this guy, and for the time that he was in our country, I saw that I had fallen pregnant for him. And when he went back to his country, he said that he was going to make a plan for me, in which he did. Each and every time he would be sending me money, and he said that he was going to make things right, and he wanted us to become like a happy family. Even though back in his country he was a married man. So that is the reason as to why I was unable to travel to Europe, because already he was married. He kept on telling me that he was going to fix everything. Then, Brother Nashi, this man out of the blue, he returned back here to Africa, and this guy, he started telling me a lot of stuff that I could not even understand. He was showing me a lot of documentaries, and slowly but surely, with all the documentaries that he was showing me, I then got interested into this thing that they say that if you are in the music industry, usually then you have to sacrifice your own soul. Those were the kind of documentaries that this guy was showing me, and he was actually even showing me some pictures online about a lot of people that were doing all of this stuff. My brother, this man was like brainwashing me into believing these things. The next thing that happened, Brother Nashi, me and him, we were at this other herbalist, and I don't even know what I was doing there. All that he told me was that we had to go to that native doctor so that he can see if I was carrying a boy or a girl child. Fine, we then went there. Since this man, he was taking care of me, I didn't want to disappoint him, and this was like my opportunity for me to rejoin with him there in Europe as per his promises. We went to that native doctor. When we arrived there, to my surprise, even though this man, when I had met him, he had said that this was the first time ever visiting our country. But when we went to that native doctor, I found out that the way that they were communicating, it was as if these people were brothers. It was like these people had known each other for a very long time. I felt like I was a stranger. I felt like I was the one who had found herself in a foreign country, because this man that I was dating, he was actually quite comfortable, even though the language that he was using was very different from the language that the native doctor was using. So they then started speaking, and there was another guy who was translating everything, and then they were able to understand each other. What shocked me is that the native doctor then spoke with me and said that you have done good, my child. This man is going to marry you if you do not do anything so as to disappoint him. The man is going to marry you, and you are going to enjoy your life for the rest of your life. You are not going to be in need of anything, because he is going to provide for you all of your needs. So that native doctor, softly and gently, he made me to lie down. Mind you, when all of these things were happening, I was 5.5 months at that time when they did this to me. So my belly, you could actually see that this woman, she is pregnant. He made me to lie down on top of this other red cloth that he had laid on the ground, but it had some traditional designs on it. In his shrine, there were a lot of cats, so he then proceeded and he took one of those cats that was black in color, and he then just placed that cat on top of my stomach, and he said that this cat was the one that was going to listen to the heartbeat of the baby that was growing inside my womb. Then the cat was going to tell him if this baby that I was carrying, if it was a male child or if it was a female child. I waited, Brother Nashi, until that man lifted that cat, and as that cat was sitting on my tummy, I felt so much heavy, as if maybe he had placed a metal bar on top of my stomach. After he had removed it, he then told me that the child that I was carrying, it was a girl child. Then that man that I was dating, I could not actually read the expression that was on his face, whether if he was happy or if he was not. He was just looking at my tummy, but he was looking at me in a strange way, because as I was lying there, that native doctor had actually pulled up my t-shirt that I was wearing so that my tummy was being seen by everyone that was inside that shrine. After we had done all of those things, we then traveled back to the capital city and we stayed at the hotel where he was staying. My brother, the next morning when I woke up, he was not there. The only thing that he had left for me, it was a brand new laptop that I had requested at the time when he was still in Europe. I told him that I wanted a laptop. This was going to assist me with some of my research that I was doing at that time. When I saw this brand new laptop that was placed just right next to where I was sleeping, at the place where he was supposed to be, I thought that maybe he had gone out to drink some coffee or to do something. So I just waited for him. I waited for him until I started feeling hungry, and I saw that this man, wherever he had gone to, he was really busy. I then got out and I went and I did the room service, and breakfast was brought to me. So to my surprise, I then saw that the man, he had already checked out, and he had told them that I was going to check out either that same day or I was going to check out the next day. Anyway, they were going to place the bill on his card, and this man, my brother, he was gone. That is the way that this man dumped me. I really felt terrible knowing that this man, he had impregnated me and he had just dumped me like this. I scrolled over my phone. That is the thing that I don't understand, if this man hacked my phone or what did he do, because when I started looking for his phone numbers, I saw that the phone numbers was not there. I then went to the dialed calls. I saw that everything had been deleted from the day that we started talking. When we exchanged numbers, his phone number that he was using whenever he was in our country, that phone had just been deleted from the call logs, as well as the SMSs, including on WhatsApp. There was nothing there. I said, fine, let me go and search him on Facebook. I then saw that my own Facebook had been hacked. It was no longer functioning. I tried all the passwords that I could remember, but all of them, they were just saying that I was entering them as incorrect. I did everything, all the security questions, my brother. Nothing seemed to be working. Then later on in the day, after I had spoken with my friends about this situation that I was facing, like someone hacking my Facebook account, so my friends were always searching and searching. That was when I saw my friend sending me a screenshot. The screenshot, it was of my account. On my account, before it got deleted, there were actually some men that had been uploaded there. It was a video of men. These men, they were deep in the bushes. So while they were in the bushes like that, they were holding something that resembled, a child, but it was not a child, more like a doll that they had. Then they started to act as if they were crucifying that thing that they were holding, and I saw that amongst these men there was actually a black cat that was just standing standing close to this man. This cat was not doing anything, and it was not even afraid of this man. That was the video that my friend showed me after she had made a screen record on her phone. So I tried to rush over so that I can see what the hell was going on with my account. That was when I saw that no matter how hard I would try to search my name, then there were names of other people that I didn't even know that were appearing instead of my own account. So that account of mine, it was deleted forever. It pained me a lot because this account, I created it at the time when people were talking about Facebook for the first time in our country, and this was like way back. All of those memories, they were just gone. This made me to feel very stressed, and I started to feel that my baby, the baby that I was carrying in my womb, it was no longer. I then felt that the baby that I was carrying in my womb was no longer happy. The baby was no longer moving or doing anything. It was just quiet. I then thought of going to the clinic. This was after several days without feeling any movement in the womb. When I got there, after a scan was done on me, that was when I was told the sad news that my baby had wrapped that umbilical cord around her neck, and then she had strangled herself to death. Thereby, she passed away in my womb. That was the most painful thing that had ever happened to me. Since that year, Brother Nash, when I lost my child, that man, I have tried to search for him all over the internet, and I have never been able to get hold of him. It then happened that whilst I was still at university, there was another girl who came across that same situation, but it was a little bit different from mine. The man who did this to her, it was a local man, but what happened to her was that after she had started dating this other blesser, when they went to bed, instead of seeing a man's manhood when they were making love, she saw that this man was using a snake to sleep with her. And when she tried to scream, she could not do anything. She felt like she was paralyzed. Throughout the night, this man kept on doing this to her, and she could not move, she could not do anything. When the next morning came, people who later found her in bed, she had urinated herself and she had poo-pooed on herself because she was unable to move. Only after another pastor who was staying at that same guest house started praying for her, that was when she was able to start moving. So it was a thing that happened at our university, and at that time it was me and the other girl who came across this terrible stuff. As for me, I ended up losing my own child to this man that came to our country and pretended like he loved me, but he knew that he was only there to use me for those rituals. And I then knew that at the time when he took me to that native doctor, they had already set me up. They knew exactly what they wanted to do with the child that I was carrying inside my womb. Wherever my child is, I just pray that she is in a safe place. She is not being used by these evil people for their evil rituals, and I hope that she is not being used to make money for this evil man. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received. Please let us talk about this issue in the comment section. then it will give me money. And as for the conditions that it will be giving me the money, no one even knows. The healer said that it will depend with what the rat wants. So this rat, it is still there in the bush. I don't know when it is going to come back to me, but I am just waiting for that day when it would appear to me. Then it is going to tell me what exactly it wants from me.